He actually gave us the news that, do you want to tell them?
You tell them.
You can tell them.
You 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 tell them.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to a brand new video. Today, Larry and I are sitting down to talk to you guys about the results of our latest egg retrieval. And I figured I would give this its own separate video and not do like a whole vlog and everything. Hi, buddy. We have Lexi here, of course, in the background. She's chilling up here. I'm trying to get her to block this light because the camera likes to focus on it. Hi, bud. Now you can tell them. You want me to tell them?
You tell them.
Okay, I'll tell them. So as you know, I had an egg retrieval procedure done on, I'm pulling up my calendar because I'll probably mess up the dates for you guys. And you guys will be like, no, that's not right.
That's not right.
No, I had the egg retrieval was done Thursday, May 2nd. I had my update there when I woke up from surgery that they retrieved 7 eggs, which is exactly what they retrieved my very first IVF round with Liam. There was 7 eggs retrieved. I'm scooting towards you to block that because Lexi decided not to block it with her nose.
Lexi.
To block the light in the background. The very next day, so Friday, we got our first update that 5 of the eggs out of the 7 were mature and that 2 had fertilized. And I was like, oh. I was nervous when I heard only 2 had fertilized. What was your first thought?
Only takes one.
That was your first thought, was it only takes 1?
Yes.
So you were full on hopeful.
Well, 2 is
true.
better than 1. So
2 is better than 1, yeah. So then we have the lovely week-long wait. So we had our update on whether or not those 2 made it to the blastocyst stage. And yesterday's date was what?
9th.
The 9th. So that's when we got our update. I received a call from the doctor. I was outside. Larry and Liam were in the pool. You guys will get the full story in the next vlog, like, because I was filming as it was all happening. And I saw a weird number pop up on my phone. And I looked at Larry and Liam, he was in the pool, and I said, it's the doctor. And I kind of like threw my head back and tilted. Plus it was getting later in the day, and not strategically, that's not the right word. Usually, when the clinic waits until later to call me, because they usually call between 11 and 3, the later it gets. And the fact that it's the doctor that calls, I'm like, they are calling me with bad news. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So I answered the phone, and he actually gave us the news that, do you want to tell them?
You tell them.
You can tell them.
You 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 tell them.
Okay. Guess what, guys? 1 has made it.
One
Made it to the blastocyst stage, which was so funny because I was so excited, so happy, so hopeful. What was your feelings?
The same.
Were you shocked?
I thought, well, just what she said. I thought there was going to be more to begin with. We'd have lots of different, but it came down to 1. That's what we need, 1.
Guys, I was shocked. I was preparing for the worst, but hoping for the best. And sometimes that's all you can do. And I was really expecting them to call and just say, I'm sorry, like they didn't make it. But 1 made it. So that 1 has been sent off for the PGT testing.
Which is the genetics testing.
Yes, a sample has been sent off and the embryo has been frozen successfully. So now we have another 10 to 14 day wait for the genetics testing to come back. So, but I'm just thankful that we're in the, position to have a wait because I honestly,
Yeah, we could have been done yesterday.
Yeah, it was a hard week wait when we found out there was 2. That was the thing. I was like, I hope we get the option to even have 1 to send off for genetic testing. That's where I was at with that whole thing. So we have another, like, I don't want to call it a Nemo because we already had our Nemo on the last, but it's like another little Nemo.
It's like a Nemo.
It's like a Nemo. It's Nemo 2.0.
Ooh.
It's our second Nemo. So we're waiting for these results. As you guys know, the last egg retrieval that I had, not this last one, but the one prior, we ended up having an abnormal embryo. So 1 got sent off and the genetics came back.
And that was with 11 originally, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was 11 eggs retrieved. So I did have you guys, so those are the results. We have 1, we're waiting on those results, 10 to 14 days. So we are in waiting period. I will let you guys know as soon as we know. And then I asked you guys to ask us questions if you had any questions about this process. So I'm gonna go over a couple of those now because I have seen a couple of I have seen a couple of the
Repeat
same
questions.
repeat
The same
questions
thing. It's
over the last week.
repetitive and repeat or repeat.
Yeah. Repetitive and repeat or repeating. Thank you, honey.
I didn't know we had questions.
Yeah, we have a few questions, not a
Well,
lot.
thanks for the questions.
Yes. Because I've seen them pop up in my DMs and I've seen a lot of them. Oh, this is a sweet one. How are you both doing? We'll just start off with the very sweet, like, how are we doing? How are you doing?
I'm doing okay, but it's just, again, like she said, and we've discussed this amongst ourselves, that you expect the worst, but you hope for the best. And right now we're still in the ball game.
We're still in the ball game. We're
Yeah.
still in it.
Yeah.
There's hope. There's a little light at the end of the tunnel. Like, it's like you're looking up and you can just see
Yeah.
the peak of a few sun rays and you're getting closer and closer.
Is it a sunrise or is it an oncoming freight train?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope not an oncoming freight train. We don't want that. But yeah, yeah. So you're feeling, but you
Yeah.
feeling good? You
Yeah.
feeling all right? Hanging
Yeah.
in there?
Yeah. When you said there was one, it's like, yes.
I asked. Well, I'll save it for the vlog. I'll save it for the vlog in a few days for you guys to see. It's a fun one, but I feel excited that we have one.
Mm-hmm.
But I was also telling Larry yesterday, I am exhausted. I am tired. I am like, I've been on the emotional extreme roller coaster since October, since that embryo transfer that didn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the chemical pregnancy. I thought I was pregnant. It was positive test and they started to fade. Since then, it has been preparation and this and going up and up and up and down and up and down and up and down. And if you think about, so October, and then you had to prep in September to do that. So September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. It's been 9 months. Oh, would I have been that far along if that embryo would have made it?
You've been pretty close.
October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Oh my gosh, I'd be 8 months pregnant if that little embryo made it.
Mm-hmm.
That's depressing.
Yeah.
I didn't
But
think about that.
we have one.
Well, hopefully. But yeah, guys, so that I think is why I just feel exhausted. And then there's that weird like in between when you're going through all this and then like still going through life normally, like trying to go through life normally while doing this for 9 months.
Yeah, you're going through your daily routine, but it's still back
In
there.
there, it's like you're thinking about it, but also very grateful and thankful to be going through it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a challenge, but I'm hopeful, I'm excited. Just gonna live our life the next 10 to 14 days, feeling positive and hopeful, and I hope that when we get that call, they call with great news.
Yes.
Okay, this next one is, if this round doesn't work, would you consider changing clinics? I have seen this question pop up a lot. I have seen a lot of you guys think that I should have changed clinics after the IUIs didn't take. I think that my gut feeling is it's not the clinic, it's not people taking advantage of me, it's not people trying to rob us of our money. It's not that. My doctor is so nice, he's so lovely. And when things don't work out, sometimes you think, oh, they have to be doing it on purpose. I've never had that thought just because I have so much faith and trust in them that I don't have that thought. So no, I wouldn't change because my doctor's incredible.
And we've bonded with the staff there because we've been there so often. It's not like we go in and it's just a number, like have a seat, and then they call a name, just calling a name, they specifically come to us and say, okay, come on back. And
Yeah.
they're amazing there.
Yeah, they're very sweet. So
And we've had success there.
we have.
Yes.
We have little Liam, like an amazing miracle baby. And the more we look at him, which we already know he's a miracle baby, I'm so blessed. We're so blessed to have him. But as this has become so difficult, and I was just saying the other day, I was like, Liam was so easy, minus that botched transfer that they tried to do with him that did not work at all. That was not my doctor. That was a different doctor that was substituting or coming in for my doctor because my doctor couldn't do it that day. Besides that botched situation where he couldn't get into my uterus, Liam's transfer and the pregnancy was very, very easy.
Yeah.
I was very lucky. And you don't know that though until you start to go through this. Like these last cycles, this last 9 months, not easy. Total opposite. Such a struggle, so hard. But I'm glad I'm going through it in a way, especially being on YouTube and having an Instagram, because I know now what so many women and families are going through. To the, like, not to the full extent, because everybody has a different journey. Everybody has different traumas and things that happen throughout their journeys, but I understand that it's not easy for everybody, and it can be really hard to see when people do get pregnant and announce, and when people do seem to have it easy. I'm not saying that they do, but like they seem to. It may appear that they do, but that's not always the case behind closed doors. You're seeing their positives, not their lows most of the time. We try to share our lows and our positives with you guys. But it has definitely opened my eyes to the struggle, to the heartbreak, to everything.
And we first announced this, we had a lot of you that left us messages saying, man, I'm on my third one, I'm on my fourth one, it's just not working. And we're thinking, God, that's got to be terrible. I mean, ours was the first try. And you know what the process is, you know how difficult it is, you know how much learning curve there is, and you think, I don't know what it's hard to understand exactly what they're going through when they're on number 2, number 3, number 4. And now we're beginning to experience what that's like.
Yes, we are. So you're not alone. Big hugs to you guys. It sucks. Like I always try to cocoon things sometimes, and no, it sucks. Like it is HELL sometimes to go through this, and just to go, not even through pregnancy and stuff, like just life in general can have moments of severe darkness, but man, you're not alone. We love you. Big hugs. Next question is the last question we're going to wrap up with, because this is another one that I've seen a lot. Either blaming the clinic essentially, or is there something wrong with you, or is there something wrong with Larry as to why things are not going well? So, Mindy, could your doctor check the reason you get low egg counts during retrievals? You are so young. You are right. And yes, there is something going on. The doctor did call me yesterday, and basically what is happening is I have low egg reserve. So the way that it was explained to me is every woman is born with a certain amount of eggs. As you age, that diminishes. However, for my age group, I have a lower amount of eggs in my reserve than most women my age. So technically I should be getting around 20 eggs per retrieval, and I'm only getting like between 7 and 11. So I'm getting less than half of what I should be getting. So I don't know, that's the problem. So.
But the other equation or other parts of that equation are, it could be a yes, 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 and yes to all of those questions. Is it me? It could be. Is it you? It could be.
Well, I know the process with you though is, like, he had that surgery back in 2021, I believe, and they retrieved 3 vials of sperm. And what they do is, I'm just going to explain it in normal human terms here, not the biologist and the embryologist terminology, but they essentially pour some kind of a sticky honey material over it, and they pull out the strongest sperm, and then they implant those directly into an egg. So it's not because they're strong. They're pulling the best ones, so yeah, it's not.
We don't know. It's kind of like the weather. You know, this front moves this way, this low moves that way, this happens, this. You can't blame it on one thing. It could be a whole bunch of things.
Come here, pumpkin.
Maybe a little bit of me, a little bit of you, but.
Yeah, so to make a funny, so what I did was I became really good friends with my nurse back in, that I had with Liam. I have a different nurse now, but this nurse and I,
She's good too.
Yeah. We exchanged phone numbers a while back, and we talk quite often. We've become good friends, and I was like, why is this happening? And that's when she first told me I had the low reserve. And then when the doctor called me yesterday, he was like, yes, it's low reserve. But I said, oh, so I just threw a joke out there, because me being me, trying to find humor in like a situation like this, I was like, oh, does this mean I'm going to start menopause next week? And then I sent it, and I paused, and I'm like, I hope she knows that that was like me trying to make lighthearted of my situation. And so I said, that was a joke, by the way. And she's like, no, but you may start it, in 2 weeks from now. It's just sometimes when you're in dark situations like that, you make a funny, even though it's not really funny, you're not laughing. It's just kind of like, what else can you do at this point? What else can you say? But I have learned so much. Oh, I wanted to tell them the story. So last time not this one, not this IVF process, the last IVF process, the middle one, when they called, the one with 11 eggs retrieved and there was one at the end, I bawled my eyes out. I was so upset. I was depressed. I was like, this isn't gonna work. I can't believe it. Now, when they called this time and said one had made it, I was jumping for joy. I was smiling, I was laughing, and I said, wow, what a contrast of difference, because there's no difference. One and one, but it's the experience. I've had the experience and I've gone through it to know how lucky we are to get one.
When you experience failure, you always like to know that there's maybe a reserve, that you still have a chance. And right now we're at that point, but we still have a chance.
Yeah.
So, and to sum up again, what she was saying with all the parameters and things that go into this, she asked a question to the nurse, is this normal? The answer was perfect. There is nothing normal. There is no normal. There's so many different variations of things that go into the equation that you can't say that the answer is going to be this definitely every time you compute the odds or the factors. So keep that in mind when you're struggling with this. There is no normal.
That's a good way to put that. Yeah, yep, that's what she told me. She was like, you should have gotten pregnant off of the IUI procedures. You didn't.
Yeah.
She's like, that statistically, and with my age,
We were 0 for 3.
I was 0 for 3. But if that would have been successful, I just think, like, we would not have Liam, who is, you know, your biological son, like between the two of us. I would have been thankful, of course, with donor sperm and getting pregnant, like the opportunity.
We
like,
didn't
so
have
thankful.
a problem with it. That's why we tried it 3 times.
No, yeah, we tried it 3 times. It didn't work. But because it didn't work, we now have our little miracle baby. I love him so much. My heart and soul. Like, he is just the biggest blessing of our lives. I just, oh my gosh. Anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap that up there. There are a few other questions in regards to deeper in what ifs, like if this doesn't work and blah, 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 like a lot of those, but we're not going to go there yet.
Nope, those are the things that are still in the back of our mind.
Those are but trust me, all the questions that you guys are asking are in our heads too, but let's save that and not go there until we know. Like my doctor said, let's not talk about the what ifs right now and the nexts. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just wait and see, which sometimes is very difficult to do when you're trying to plan your life, plan your future, see what's next. Like, I feel like we're living a life in limbo for the last 9 months. I could ramble on and on and on and on. Somebody had told me that I'm like a professional in this topic now. I feel like I am in ways. I feel like I'm not a professional in like the nitty gritty, like the correct terminology, probably, definitely not, because I'm not a doctor, but I feel like in the emotional sense and in the understanding sense and empathy sense of somebody in a family who is going through this, we got you.
Yeah,
we know.
We've been through this enough that when they call on the phone and they say, okay, we have to do a 30-second block of question or 30-minute block of questions and this, that, and the other thing, it's like, yeah, we're good with that. And we've pretty much been able to answer everything. And when they call and they explain things, they say, well, let me go over how much of this you're going to have to take, or what dosage this medicine is, or what injection is, and she's right there with them. She's done it so many times
now.
yeah.
But your first round,
it's overwhelming.
Very overwhelming, and you're like, wait, can't I just go to the clinic every single day, twice a day, so you can do it for me? Like, no, you can't. Like, unfortunately, you have to learn to do it yourself. You have to stab yourself 4 times a day or 2 times a day.
You have to know what medicines you're taking,
the amount, and the syringe, and drawing it up, and
Yeah.
dealing with the needles. Yeah.
So it's been very helpful, and I think sometimes she's kind of surprised the people on the phone, because she goes, oh, I'm there with you, I know what you're talking about, I know this and I know that.
Until they called to tell me what size needle I needed to use for that butt shot, for the trigger shot, because my last trigger shot for the egg retrieval was in the stomach. I didn't have to trigger in the butt. This time we had to wake up at 12:15 a.m. and Larry had to give me my trigger shot in my butt with a needle that was the size bigger than, was it the size of my pinky?
Yeah, about the size of that.
And I'm like, that thing's gonna go all the way through. And then I was like, is that what the size of the progesterone injections are? Because once you get ready for an embryo transfer, which, oh my gosh, I hope we get there. you have to do those shots in the butt and the needle's that long. I was like, is that the same size? He's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the same size. But it's crazy how you can't, well, sometimes you can feel it in the butt.
Well, when you're used to the short needles and then you get one that's about 4 times that.
The needle though in the butt was far less painful. Like you can't eat, I could not even feel that going in. The stomach shots were brutal. I'm still bruised from that. Anyways, okay, we could ramble on and on forever and ever. Is this like, this is already like a 24+ minute video, but.
24+ minute video?
Yeah. That I'm gonna edit for you guys to see first thing tomorrow morning. Thank you for all of your prayers. Thank you for all of your love. It's been a journey to say the least. It's been a long 9 months. I'm wrapping it into a 9 months. I can't believe our baby, our little October baby was supposed to be born next month, June.
It's been
it was
a
June
trek.
baby. That is sad. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry.
Don't cry.
I might cry in June randomly. I did not count that. Ugh. Anyways. So.
Do you have your waterproof stuff on today?
I sure do. I always have to wear waterproof.
Yeah, she does. Holds up at Universal's.
On the water rides. We need another Universal date in between now and the next transfer.
We could use a Universal day once a week, I think.
Yeah, we could. But we if we're gonna do it, we need to go.
Yeah.
I mean, between now and when I need to do that.
We can't do it once a week. I was kidding.
Yeah.
We can't do that once a week.
No. All right, guys. We love you. Thank you. And I'll see you again in the next one. Bye.
Bye.
We're gonna be in here close. I'm gonna be like, but it's still like, it's just so easy to have it in the way. Man, that light is
Dark and full of terror. Well, hello, Lexi. Maybe you could sit there.
Yeah, that would be great. Yes. Put your nose forward, Lexi. Yes, block that light.
Oh, she's got a.
We're gonna go with that.
She's like a Rudolph. Her nose is glowing.
I know. Ready?
Ready?
Why?
That's where contacts come in handy.
I'm bleeding. That you won't wear.
They can't find the ones that are right for me.
Oh, that's the excuse.
Well, yeah, we've been trying for 2 years. This is news to you?
No, it's because you don't like sticking things in your eye.
If they worked, I'd stick them in my eye. I'd get used to it. They don't work. Why should I bother?
I mean, kind of, yeah.
Kind of,
in your
yeah.
defense, I would have a hard time too with a bifocal and a regular lens. Put a bifocal in one eye and a distance in the other, and then the other ones were split half and half.
Yeah. Put a strong one in this eye and a weak one in that eye, and maybe your vision will correct itself. Well, it hasn't. It doesn't. So.
Oh my gosh, I need to call them and order the contacts and order you to get, he wants to get transition glasses because he plays baseball, you know, so he wants to, when he's outside, you know, they're like sunglasses. Because putting sunglasses over glasses and the clip-ons.
No, it's a joke. And I couldn't wear transition to work because 1 minute I'd be out in the sun, the next minute I could be in wherever it's dark, and I got to be able to see. So, well, hang on, I got to wait for these to change.
Yeah, not in your line of work.
No.
Anyways, you have a fluff.
I
love how you bashing me with your beautiful glasses turned into us explaining to them about contacts and glasses and...
They may be going through the same thing. If you're going through the same thing with bifocals and contacts, comment down below.
If you're going through the same thing with your significant other hitting you with their glasses corner, let us know.
Yeah, I was on a full tilt and it just kind of stopped. Doink. It's like, oh, I didn't go all the way.
That was your beak.
That was your beak. Oh, your forehead? No wonder why I stopped so fast.
That was your beak. Because if you conk me with your head with this, it pushes into your beak.
Oh.
Is your beak okay?
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, bye guys. That was funny.